Hello and welcome. We'll be working on the distance formula for today. So the distance formula is very close to the speed formula that we were working on in the previous video. So the distance formula and the speed formula are closely related. Okay. So the speed formula I covered last time as s is equal to the speed is equal to distance over time, where d is the distance covered, distance traveled, and t is the time it took to go ahead and cover that distance. Now, the distance formula, if we were to take the speed formula and do a little bit of algebra, we do one move, we can go ahead and transform the speed formula into the distance formula. So what I propose we do is multiply on both sides of this equation, this formula with the equal sign, multiply time on both sides. I want to go ahead and isolate, I want to separate d from everything else. And let's see if I can do that. Okay, I want to separate d, distance, from everything else because I want it to be a distance formula. And remember, the speed formula was showing me that speed is what I wanted. So if I input distance divided by time, I get speed. I want a form of this, a different form of this formula, so that way d, the distance, will be given to me when I put in the other pieces of information. So I'm going to do some algebra, a little bit of rearranging, and by multiplying both sides by time, and it doesn't matter what that time is, it could be 1 second, 1 minute, 1 year, a million years. If we're dividing, for example, if t was, say, 1,000 hours, and we divide by 1,000 hours, then these two cancel. The t's in the numerator divided by t in the denominator. This will go ahead and cancel out. And let me go ahead and try this out. Okay, that cancels out, and we're left with d is equal to speed times time. So let me rewrite that, and go ahead and just write it over here. So time times speed is equal to distance, and another way of writing that is just d is equal to s times t. Now, and that's pretty much our speed formula. So let's go ahead and highlight this, make it look nice and eye-catching. Let's see, there we go. Distance is equal to speed times time. So with the speed formula, I wanted to find out what the speed was. With the distance formula, I want to find out what the distance is. And that means I need two other pieces of information, and those two pieces of information have to be speed, way too big, have to be speed and time. Okay, let's go ahead and use an example for this. And we'll just move this. This will get moved. Oh, okay. All right, and then once again, this is distance. So we'll take our. This time we'll go ahead and take a truck and alright, and I think that looks pretty good. It is moving so fast that that's why it looks all crooked. So I have speed let's say this truck is going at, we'll go ahead and give it 60 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour, because that's what the speedometer says, according to this trucker. So the needle is pointing at exactly at 60 miles per hour. So that's how fast we know we're going. And let's say this truck is traveling for about 20 minutes on the freeway. So 20 minutes have passed. Here is our end clock, and it points at the number 4, and it starts here. Let's go ahead and put that little arrow. It starts at the top of the hour at 0, and it goes to 4. So that's 20 minutes. 20 minutes of time have passed. So to figure out the distance traveled for a truck moving at 60 miles per hour in 20 minutes, I'm saying that we just multiply the speed, and let's get a little bit of color in here. Let's multiply the speed. Hopefully this will look okay. Good. Multiply the speed times the time. And from our last video, the speed formula video, we know that we have to change 20 minutes into fractions of an hour, so that way we can deal with combining miles per hour here with fractions of an hour. So it doesn't make sense to be dealing with miles per hour when we're working with minutes. We want to work with miles per hour and hours, because hours mix with hours, minutes mix with minutes. But because we're doing this speed formula for trucks, we want to make sure that this changes to hours. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and set up the problem. Let's go back to the original color scheme. Okay, so we have 60 miles per hour, which is S. This is S. 20 minutes, which is T. And I'm saying that distance is equal to S times T. I go ahead and put those numbers in. S is 60 miles per hour. Okay. Times, this is going to have to be lower. And we want to find out the fractions of an hour. So this will be a simple conversion. Let's move this up. 20 minutes, if we think of 1 hour being the complete circling of the minute hand around the clock one time, 20 minutes is right here, 40 minutes is right over here, and 60 minutes is right up top. So let's go ahead and divide this up. So if 20 minutes have passed, then we know, then we know that, go ahead and color this. 20 minutes have passed. We know that one of these 3 sections have passed. Okay, so one section, the 20 minutes have passed. The second section has not passed yet, or the third. So 20 minutes is really 1/3 of an hour. And I'll go ahead and write that out. 20 minutes equals 20 minutes is 1/3 of an hour, just based upon using or looking at a clock and figuring out the sections that have passed already. So 1 out of these 3 sections have passed. We could also figure it out. Let's say we're not so good at looking visually at clocks, and it's the whole thing is confusing. Maybe this is the first time you've seen it. I get it. I understand. So you can always fall back on the tried and true way of figuring out the fractions of an hour by taking your 20 minutes. Here, let's scoot this over for space. So 20 minutes divided by a total amount of 60 minutes should give us the fractions of an hour. So 20 divided by 60. I know that I have a common factor between the top and the bottom. Easiest one to find out is a 10. Okay. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. 60 divided by 10 is 6. That's good. I can still take out one more factor, and 2 is pretty much the only one. So 2 up top, 2 down below. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And there we go. There we have it. We have 1/3 of an hour visually and 1/3 of an hour mathematically. So I know that 1/3 of an hour has to pass for every 20 minutes. Let's see. Okay. Let's line this up. Okay. So 60 miles per hour times 1/3 of an hour. I go ahead and multiply that. That's really just 60 miles divided by this. 1/3 times 60 is just 60 divided by 3. 60 over 3 miles per let's see, miles per hour. I slightly goofed up. The hours actually disappear because miles per hour, the whole thing, the hours cancel, and I'm left with 60 miles divided by 3 because I want distance. My final answer should be just distance. It should be miles and miles alone. Okay, so 60 divided by 3, that turns out to be 3 goes into 60 20 times. So within the span of 20 minutes at 60 miles per hour, this truck, this lively, we'll go ahead and do a yellow truck. This lively yellow truck has gone and traveled 20 miles. Hopefully this will come out as well. Great. So that the truck has traveled a distance of 20 miles based upon 60 miles per hour as a speed and 20 minutes of driving time. And I'll just put that 20 miles up top that it's traveled. Okay. Hopefully that by rearranging the equation, oh boy, let's scoop this up. So by rearranging the speed formula, S is equal to d over t, by just doing one algebraic change, I've transformed the speed formula into a distance formula. Now I can go ahead and just plug in speed, plug in time, multiply it, and out spits distance. Like a simple machine, I just put two things in and out spits what I'm looking for. Okay? Hopefully that helped you out, and please feel free to leave comments and suggestions, and I look forward to hearing how I can make these videos even better. Thank you very much, and I look forward to showing you the next video.